All right, I'm all strapped up, got all my gloves on, ready to go. Hello. So I'm taking a little break out in the bushes and figured I'd give you a little tour of the motorcycle and tell you a little bit about my safety gear and everything. So this is my motorcycle. It is a DRZ 400 and I have been really greatly enjoying it. Got a little bit of dings and everything so far, just dropping it over and over again. But I still have a blast on it. So a little bit about the safety gear that I carry. So I'm wearing a big hard chest plate and shoulder pads. I have elbow pads, a big back plate, and a kidney belt. I also have big old knee pads and hip pads. I wear a nice helmet and gloves whenever I'm riding. And then in here, I carry extra water, big old first aid kit, some recovery gear in case I get stuck. I bring tire irons so that I can change a flat tire if I need to, and I bring a spare tube. I also carry what's called a spot device, which is a satellite communication device where if I'm outside of cell phone service, I can press a button and get rescued in case of an emergency. So when I'm way out in the middle of nowhere, I'm still pretty safe. Some of the things I've modified on the motorcycle is I've raised the handlebars up a little bit with these blocks right here, so that when I'm standing up I can still reach the handlebars nicely. So that's good. And then I've also added these bigger foot pegs here. Those give more support when I'm standing, so I really enjoy those. The stock ones are much more narrow, they're probably only half as wide. I've added a bash guard, so if I hit any rocks or any big bushes or trees, then it doesn't hurt my engine. And radiator guards, so that when I'm going fast and a rock gets kicked up, it doesn't break through my radiator and cause all the coolant to leak out. I've also added handlebar guards, so that when I inevitably drop the bike, the levers don't get broken off, because that would be bad out in the middle of nowhere if the lever snaps off. So if the clutch snapped off, the clutch lever for instance, it would be basically impossible to shift gears, so that would be bad. Overall, I think it's a great bike for the Australian Outback. It's perfect for me and for the beginner folks, because it doesn't have very short maintenance cycle, so it doesn't require a ton of maintenance like some of the really high-end bikes. Just fell down. Went through this sandy place and just caught a funny edge of some sort. I jumped off before I hit the ground though, so that's good. I'll put you here. Maybe you can see me. Easy peasy. So I'm out here at Emily Gap, and I figured I'd try and tell you a little bit about the geology of the area because it's pretty interesting. If you look up over here, you can see that the rocks are all pointed, angled upward. So what that is layers of sediment from millions and millions of years ago. Back when Australia and Antarctica were still connected to each other, this area was actually under the seabed. So it is, this is basically compressed seabed that was forced into this position by the bumping together of India and Australia. And then after about 315 million years, it's eroded back down to just be these cliffs. So at one point these were way up as high as the Himalayan mountains, which is unbelievable. Got stuck down in a ditch. I don't know how well cameras are pointing, but I made my way down into this ditch. It's about a little over waist high. So here's the bike stuck. I took my helmet off because I was just hot. Down in its own little rut. Should be easy to get out. I just was out of breath from making my way this far that I decided to take a break. Success. I am quite tired and sweaty. It's dusty out here today too. There's not much of a breeze, but it's still beautiful and fun. I think there's a storm rolling in. And I think I'm gonna go home just because I'm particularly pooped.